Everyone, welcome to the NMF podcast with me, Dennis Devlin, and good evening, the Haciendas. How are we doing, guys?
How's it going?
Brilliant to have you guys on. It's really, really good. I'm really looking forward to this. How you all been today?
Yeah, good. Cheers, mate.
Love hearing that man accent. So listen, guys, we'll get this going. It's great to have you on board. I'm currently loving the music. It's fantastic. It's great to listen to. I really enjoyed the Joker, by the way.
Nice, thank you.
So what got you guys into music?
Well, myself personally, it was just first of all, I went to a music festival a couple of years ago. I mean, I've been going to gigs and following Manchester bands all my life, really, but actually getting into music myself personally, something that happened at the beginning of lockdown, when the pandemic hit, I just decided to get some lads together and start working on some songs that I've been writing away secretly.
Absolutely fantastic. It seems just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's been very strong. Obviously, when I was a lot younger, it was really big, and it did tend to started to quiet down a little bit over recent years. But you know, the last couple of years, it seems to be rising again, and there's a lot of young, hungry bands that are making a lot of noise at the moment. So it looks like the future's quite bright again for Manchester music.
Yeah, all different genres as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys are just absolutely rocking the place right now. You're very popular, as you've probably noticed. So, who's your inspiration to make music? Who inspires you to make music?
For me, it was, well, I've always been a Green Day fan since the first time I heard Basket Case. And then, I think I was about 13 when I picked up the guitar. So I was like, Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41. And then as you get older, it's like, 4 Year Strong and you get a little bit heavier. For you, it's quite different, eh?
Yeah, for myself, I'd probably say the Cortinas probably has been my biggest influence. Probably been to see them the most out of any band I've seen. So it's like, being in that crowd so many times and seeing everyone go nuts, regardless how many times I've been and seen them. Every time it gets better and better, and just hearing so many hardcore fans sing back and big anthems back to the band is just something that's made me hungry and driven me to be on the other side of it rather than be in the crowd. So, yeah, I think what me and Steve just said there, like from his influence and mine, I think you can actually really hear both of them influences gelled together in the songs that we've made. So it's good to see that both of our influences have
managed to match up.
Yeah, they've gelled together quite well, actually.
Yeah, it comes through your music. It's brilliant. I mean, how would you describe your music? How would you describe the type of music you typically make?
I would just go straight for rock. We were a bit indie rock.
Yeah.
And then we put a little bit of influence in there. So like I'm on bass, I like to do sort of like we've got a new song we're working on that's very sort of like Blink-182 inspired, but then the guitarist is really into his metal. So he puts a little bit of a spin on that. But I always just say we're rock and try not to say that we're something that people might turn around and say like, no, you're not.
Yeah, it's something that it's really weird. It's something that we really struggled putting our finger on when we first got together. Like when we was trying to put, who we're trying to be. It's something that we didn't really worry about. We didn't care on putting a label on what we are. We just let the people decide, and we've kind of made this unique kind of sound. I mean, you can hear which kind of avenues we're going down, but we don't stick to one area, if you know what I mean. We kind of branch all over the show. So it's kind of good that we can do a bit of this and a bit of that rather than just being focused in one area.
Yeah, you can hear that. You can hear in your music the various musical influences coming through. It's brilliant. It is hard to label yourselves because you've got that much of an amazing genre of music, and it just sounds so different to what's about just now.
Cheers. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we got featured on XS Manchester, and without that feature, I don't think we'd really be as clued up on who we sound like, because they put it perfectly. They said it sounds like a typical Manchester band, 4 Mancunian lads that have gone on holiday to America. So you can it is actually perfectly to what we are. We have got that kind of like pop punk American side to us, but also we've stuck to our roots as like a typical Manchester rock band. So it was perfectly put, really, and you couldn't really put it any better than that.
So what's the band's creative process like?
We normally Tom sends us song ideas, so it's either lyrics or he'll actually record himself singing it and like humming the guitar or vocal melody that he wants, and we call them his Jack Blacks. So we get them and we sort of just have a mess around and come up with riffs or bits and pieces that will go with it. And the start of the song will be almost like just acoustic and vocals, and then by the time it's finished, we've put a bit of rock and a bit of metal in there and a bit of pop punk and stuff like that.
Right. So when you learned to play guitar, did you have sore fingers? Did you understand the song lyrics? Played it till my fingers bled.
Oh God, yeah. Even just taking a break from Dan, who's our guitarist, has just had a kid, so we had like about 3 or 4 weeks off, and then coming back into rehearsals, playing guitar again, my fingers were hurting already.
What kind of strings do you use?
I just have the sort of standard super slinkies on my bass. Just nothing too heavy, nice and easy going. But even that's enough to, I think to be fair, I think my bass has warped a little bit, so I'm pressing on the strings harder.
Who would you most like to collaborate with in the future?
Ooh. What do you think?
It's a killer, that one, isn't it? It's an absolute killer of a question, that, isn't it?
For me personally, I do like the way that they've combined these like dance with like indie artists. So like Jake Bugg's done it with Camel Fat, and Yanis from Foals has recently done one as well. And I like the way that they've done this like rock dance crossover.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I think something like that would be pretty cool, something different in terms of an artist to collaborate with.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough question.
Well, look, guys, if you could open a show for any artist, who would you most like to open a show for?
Ooh.
For me personally, it'd be Biffy Clyro.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
yeah.
God, you imagine that? What a session that would be.
Yeah,
and that's just the session before the actual session.
Yeah, these. I mean, they're for me the best live band I've seen, and I've seen hundreds of bands, but for me, they really do take it. So to have the pleasure of warming up for them boys would be some show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, that's the kind of party that starts on a Friday, then you walk home at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday with a bottle of milk in your hand, thinking, "How did I get here?"
It's happened a few times. That.
If what is the one message you would give to your fans if they were listening? What is the one message you'd like to give to your fans?
I mean, it's all been a bit of a quick start from us, so like just showing like people supporting us, like friends, family, and even people that just find us and stuff. It's been a bit shocking, really. So we are very grateful.
Yeah,
it's great how it's how fast it moves, isn't it? As soon as you fire that song out, and suddenly you find all these people thinking, "Wow, you're amazing." That must have a major impact on you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think the way to sum it up is like, I just had this thought one day. I could have just easily just forgotten about it and just carried on. But if you want something enough, you can have it. You've just got to put the time and effort into it, and eventually, the hard work it pays off in the end. So yeah, if you've got a thought and you want to do something, put your mind to it, and you'll be surprised what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the process like when you're in the studio?
We've recorded a couple of songs now, and it's been pretty. We tend to have the song, I'd say 99% where we want it before we start recording it. I think the only sort of embellishments that we ever do towards the end is like vocal harmonies and backing things and stuff like that. So we go in, we kind of know what we want to do, we get everything recorded up, and then towards the end of it, we're just left to sort of be like, do we want to add a vocal harmony here or just a little bit of something else? Or if it's Dan and his guitar, does he want to do like a guitar harmony or something like that?
Yeah, when you were doing the Joker, who came up with that, and whose idea was it, and what was the process like in producing it? Because it's a brilliant track.
Joker's actually, it was just, I get these when I've obviously been working at home, so I had these random influxes in the day where I'd walk around the house and just start humming a random tune. So I'd just start singing this tune. I'd just put my recorder on my phone and just see what happened. And it's weird because the words to that song literally fell out. I literally just said all the words in one go. I've actually got the recording, which might make an appearance one day because it'd be good to show people how it actually began. But yeah, that just literally fell out, and then I put it to the guys, and it's like Steve said earlier, it was just me to kind of humming the melody of the song, and then we picked. To be honest, that's probably one of the quickest songs we did because everything just fell into place really quickly.
Some of the greatest songs ever written happened quickly. So, I mean, I'm sure if you ask Noel Gallagher or you talk to Richard Ashcroft, he'd say he wrote a song in the toilet in 3 minutes. You know, some of the best tracks are written just like that.
Yeah, it tends to be the way with us, to be honest. I mean, like Steve said earlier, we're working on one the other day. We literally come in the practice room together, and we built a bare bone structure of the song with drums, bass, guitar within about 20 minutes. And
Brilliant.
You know, that's already sounding to be like a really big song. So yeah, you're probably right. I think the best things tend to fall on the paper.
So do you have any useless talents? Like, I'll give you an example. I can bend my fingers right over my hand. And who's got the most useless talent?
Ooh. I think like Tashi, like Dan on guitar can literally just play anything.
Yeah, he comes out with some weird and wonderful noises at times.
Yeah. We all seem to have our own sort of like ability to do impressions of people or characters from certain shows.
Oh, yeah. Come on then.
There's never a dull moment in the rehearsal room.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Steve. I'd probably hand over to Steve for that. He's always making us laugh, doing impressions and stuff like that.
I do a decent Herbert from Family Guy.
Come on, let's put that Herbert from Family Guy.
Well, hey there, Chris. Nice to meet you.
I'd like you to do that now. I've had the time of my life in Herbert.
Oh, no. I had the time of my life.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. It's amazing some of the stuff when you ask me to get useless talents. That's got to be the best one so far.
It's a shame you couldn't see him because he actually looked like him as well.
Oh no! Hope there's nobody called Chris about. So, guys, I mean, if it wasn't for music, what would you be doing now?
Well, it'd probably make me 9 till 5 a little bit less interesting as it is because it gives me something to be excited to get to the end of the day at the moment. But
yeah, true.
I'd probably still be trying to look at Sunday League, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
I've heard a lot about Sunday League football. You know, I've heard a lot about it. I don't even want to go into that. I've seen guys turning up on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock in the morning till I kick off at 10:30 carrying bottles of Wicked and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's been a few people turn up straight. I mean, I've played since I was 16, mate. So I've been playing Sunday League for 10 years, and some of the states of the people I've played with over the years have been shocking. There was a guy once that turned up to the pitch dressed as Beetlejuice from his Halloween party the night before. And he turned up with a litre bottle of liquor in his hand dressed as Beetlejuice. I think that's a beating.
You just don't ask, do you? You just think, oh, let's just get on with it. So, guys, where have you guys performed live? And what has been your best so far and why?
We've only been able to do 2 sort of shows. We've done a live show for MMTV, which is streamed over Facebook. And the same guys put on a little bit of a festival when it was sort of in between first and second lockdown. We were able to do a gig at the Irish Centre in Manchester. So
wow, I know that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I went there once or twice.
Sorry?
I've been to Manchester Centre, the Irish Centre. That's brilliant. That's a great venue you're singing.
It is nice. It is really fancy.
Just round the corner, innit, from Manchester City's football ground, innit?
Yeah, it's not too far. Probably about a 5-minute drive.
I was down there with a particular football club when we played them at Man City, and I won't lie, I might have had a few too many in there.
Nice. It is a nice bar.
It is. It's brilliant, isn't it?
I did a few pints as well after watching the Blue Half of Manchester.
You never So, who do you support then?
United.
You both United fans.
Yeah, we're both big United fans. Dan's also a big United fan, and
Alex, unfortunately, on drums.
yeah.
So I'm guessing the reason why the other two can't be here is because they were probably arrested at the stadium a couple of days ago.
Well, no, Alex, the drummer, he supports United, but the wrong type of United. He's actually a Leeds United fan.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
He's
No.
the brunt of the jokes quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, you know what? That's his musical career over before it's even started. I think it's time you ditched him.
Well,
No.
as you can imagine, the three of us and having him in here in rehearsals causes it causes quite a laugh sometimes, but it can cause a bit of a stir sometimes as well.
I just stick him at the back. He'll be used to being at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's managed to stay in, because he was drumming and he'd be at the back. So no one will be.
What do you mean he's a better player than half of Leeds have got?
True.
No, the funny story actually about me and Alex. So when we got the band together, I knew Steve and Dan through my childhood. I met him many years ago. Met Steve at a party, and I knew Dan from school. But I couldn't find a drummer at first, so I reached out for a drummer, and Alex actually played for my football team on a Sunday morning.
Oh dear God!
So he was my keeper. So he played in net for us on my football team, and to say he wasn't good with his hands in net, it's a good job he's good with his hands at drumming.
So, guys, what can we expect from you guys in the future? And do you have any plans to tour now that lockdown's coming to an end?
Yeah, so we've got our debut hometown headline show announced in October, which is, we've aimed pretty big. It's a 408 seat capacity of venue, and the Bread Shed in Manchester. I've seen a few gigs there myself, and it's a quality venue. So we've got that booked in, and we're looking at doing a few shows around the UK as well to make it a bit of a tour. So we've got some news coming on that in the coming weeks as well.
Love to see you up in Carlisle, lads. It'd be great if you'd pop up to Carlisle. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, no, like you say, yes. I've checked a couple of venues out, and want to try and get as far and as wide as we can, because we've been together just over a year now, and we've not actually had a chance to gig as such, and that's normally when bands are gigging the most. So we've missed that. So we can't wait to actually get out there and play in front of potential new fans.
Yeah. How do you feel social media has impacted the music industry, and has it impacted yourselves?
You're on it quite a bit, aren't you? Just like posting things and stuff. It's helpful in some ways. Like getting the word out's been a lot easier than what it probably would have been 10 years ago. Yeah,
well, starting a band at the beginning of a pandemic, which no one really knew what was going to happen, was probably the worst timing ever to start a band. But with the power of social media, we managed to create this fan base, which without it, no one would know who we are. So we've managed to spread our fan base out across the UK and beyond. We've got fans in America and stuff like that, which is crazy to see. So, without the power of social media, we probably wouldn't be a band. So it's been a blessing, and especially at such a time.
Mm.
Yeah, it's been very difficult. Obviously, music industry's been absolutely hammered because of COVID. Digital, vinyl, or CD?
I'm a big vinyl collector, me personally.
Good man, me too.
So I mean, the aim is one day to release a vinyl as a band. To have our own vinyl being played would be it's definitely, well, it's something that I'm definitely going to make sure happens. But yeah, there's a lot of upcoming bands over the years that I've bought vinyls from since day one. The Blossoms, for example, I've got theirs right from the beginning, from the Charlemagne one. And then there's a few upcoming bands from Manchester at the moment, Scuttlers and Dirty Laces, who have got theirs. So I try and collect as many vinyls, especially early on, as I can.
Are there any new bands you've seen kicking about you thought, oh, they're all right, they're real good, them, I won't mind having a jam with them?
Yeah, there's some bands that we've managed to meet already as a band. When I played our first show, we met a band called Broke Casino, who was good with us. Steve got on with them as well. We had a good laugh with them, didn't we?
Yeah, first thing we did was buy just a few cans of beer and cider and sat and chilled and really got along well.
Yeah, that was for our first show as well. So it kind of, it was my first ever live performance in front of a microphone, apart from when I've been intoxicated and holiday singing Elton John and karaoke. So yeah, meeting them was good. It put us at ease a little bit. Well, it certainly put me at ease. And there's a couple of other bands, Scuttlers from Middleton. They've been around for a few years now. They're really good, and looking forward to seeing them again when things start to open back up properly.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're excellent. It's a great time just now to be a musician. It's like the music industry's come alive again.
Yeah, especially now that we can see the sort of light coming, closer and stuff, and gigs are starting to get booked in, and the gigs that we had last year are not getting postponed anymore. People are probably a lot more excited than they would have been, had it not been a pandemic.
If you guys could perform anywhere in the world, where would you most like to perform live?
Ooh.
You've got to go to where you work as.
Yeah, I work in the tourism industry, so I'd love to do like gigs in Southeast Asia or something. Singapore would be good.
Wow, yeah, that would be amazing. They're crazy over there, for music. They absolutely love it. They go mental for it,
Yeah, I'd love to go to a gig actually in Japan, because I've heard like Japanese metal crowds can be amazing.
Unbelievable. They're crazy for it. Guys, do you still feel radio is an important outlet considering all the platforms that are available?
Yeah, I feel like it certainly helped us a little bit. We've been on XS Manchester, and they've really helped us out, and they've played us in their evening shows. They've got like every evening they've got the sort of independent show, haven't they, where it's like they'll do local bands and stuff. So that's always been great. It's good to see support on a public radio station.
Yeah. I think the problem we got just now is there's so many platforms and there is new radio stations popping up. Maybe not the ones you can listen to in your car. They're all online, and they're all desperate to put out new music. And of course, you've got all these playlists, and I am not a fan of some of these playlists because they're charging you to put your music in a playlist. Would you not rather just have somebody individual find your music who likes your music? Because with a DJ on a radio station, you just never know what's coming next, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I've started to stop listening to when I can. If I'm on my own in the car, I try not to put my own music on and listen to my library. I try and flick a local. To be honest, I normally have access on if I'm in the car. I'm just trying to listen to these new bands and new up and coming music and seeing what's out there. 9 times out of 10, I'll hear something and go, "Oh, who's that?" and try and follow him. It's especially now I'm part of a band myself and I want people to discover us. It's kind of brought my attention to trying to discover other new bands.
So looking back, how did you guys all come together?
It's weird actually, because we've all kind of known each other. Like I knew Dan, the guitarist, from primary school. I was in year 3 with him, and then we went off to our own like secondary schools and that. But I'd always known that he was a really good guitarist. And then I met Tom at a party a few years ago. Kept in touch, over the football and stuff like that. And then when Tom said he was getting a band together, and he mentioned that Dan was going to be the guitarist, that kind of sealed the deal. And then Alex on drums, Tom knew from the football. From playing, so we kind of all knew each other separately, and then coming together as a band's worked really well.
We have a saying in Glasgow where if some guy's a wee bit of a ladies' man, we call him a shagger. Which one of you guys is the shagger?
Steve nodding at me then.
You're the one that'll get your tap off in the bar and have an Instagram photograph with the beer in hand saying, "Lads."
Yeah, that's me, that.
You're shagger. Go on yourself, mate.
Top shagger.
There's always a joker. There's always one in the pack that you just can't take your eye off of. If you fall asleep after a session, you know he's going to write a cock and balls in your head. Who's the joker in the pack?
I've got news for you. Our pack's got 4 jokers in it. I won't want to fall asleep around there.
I am dreading touring.
We'll soon find out who can hold their beer, eh?
Yeah, it could just be anyone. I wouldn't even like to put my finger on it. There's always someone doing something quirky in the corner, or always got a trick up the sleeve. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll have some funny stories to tell down the next couple of years. So we'll have to get back to you on that one.
What's been the best advice you've been given, and by whom?
We share a room with my uncle's band, who's kind of helped guide me when I started asking questions at the beginning. So we've shared a room with him, and now we've actually got our own studio together. So he's been in bands for 20 years, maybe even longer. So he's done a lot of things wrong in his 20 years, which he said to me, learn from his mistakes, kind of thing. So he's always been there at hand for me to ask any questions and that, and point us in the right direction, which has been a big help, really, because when you're starting off, you're kind of going into the unknown. So it's really helped us having that knowledge within the same rehearsal room.
So, what was the first single you guys bought? What was your first ever single? What was the first single or CD or album you bought?
Mine's really bad.
That's what it was.
It's not too bad. It's one of those when you look back on it and you go, yeah, I bought that album. It was Infest by Papa Roach.
Oh dear. Oh dear God, really?
Yeah.
I was going to ask the next question, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you? But you already answered that. Guys, what is the most embarrassing that's ever happened to you? And have you ever got yourself in a bit of trouble?
Well, I'm going to trump Steve first, actually. I'm just going to trump in there because mine's just come to light. I remember I can't remember how old I was, but I thought it was 5 at first. I thought it was their 5 album, but it's actually not. I can't remember what the name of the album is, but it was a Westlife album, and it's a blue one with all the 4 faces on the front of it. So if you think that's a bad first album, then I think I've trumped him.
So guys, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you, and have you ever got yourself in trouble?
I don't think I've ever been in trouble. Have you?
I've probably got some things that I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Sorry, this comes with a parental warning.
Yeah, nothing's springing to mind.
I always cringe at the fact that I played my first ever gig in my first band when I was about 15, 16. And for the first 2 songs, my amp was completely turned off. Like nothing was coming out. I had to casually look like I was fiddling with the treble and bass and that lot. And it's like, yeah, switch my amp on.
I didn't even know. Absolutely brilliant. So guys, let's say you're on tour in Las Vegas and you've had a great show and you're back at the hotel and you're going down to meet the lads at the bar and the elevator gets stuck. Who would you least like to be stuck in an elevator with, and why?
Who's the worst out of us?
I can help you, but I'll give you a rough idea. If it was me, if I was stuck in an elevator with that Matt Hancock, I would start pulling my own teeth because I wouldn't need a dentist and I wouldn't need watcher for me.
Yeah, someone on that line would be the same for me, actually. Someone of that variety of people.
If you guys could go back in time and perform at any concert historically, is there any concert where you just look and think, God, I wish we were there?
Oh,
some tough questions here,
Yeah.
Isle of Wight Festival, Nebworth, Glastonbury.
Yeah, I went to Leeds Festival 2010. The lineup for me was that's my kind of stuff. It was Billy Talent, Blink-182, Paramore. If I could have got on that bill, that would have been amazing. Gallows played.
That sounds amazing. That would be an awesome way to perform. Guys, so you wake up in the morning and you don't know how you've got there. Who do you blame for getting you there in the first place? Whose fault is it you woke up somewhere and have no idea how you got there and what happened the night before? Who's to blame? Who's the main culprit?
Sam.
Yeah, probably take the blame for that one as well.
Well, guys, look, looking to the future, obviously, you've obviously said you're working on some new music just now. Can we expect an album?
We're hoping to, yeah.
I mean, I think we're going to work on an EP soon. Going to look at getting an EP out there, just as a bit of a teaser to what's to come. I think as the months go by, we're writing, the songs that we're writing are just getting better and better. So we're actually writing, and then we're actually writing new ones and pushing them onto the back because everything just seems to be getting better. So I think I think we need to get a year under our belts gigging and seeing where the kind of where our material lies with the crowds, and then we can start maybe putting an album together next year. It's definitely something that we're all looking to do together.
Mm-hmm. That's probably one of our bigger goals.
Yeah, it'd be great to hear that. How have your friends and family influenced you?
Yeah, the support's been amazing. Even just from like we did like a first live stream show, and we did like a little run of t-shirts, and we had like loads of our friends and family all over Facebook and that wearing our t-shirts and posting support and pictures of themselves going on holiday wearing the pictures and wearing the t-shirts and that. So yeah, there's been loads and loads of support for us all on social media, and seeing that, and then even friends of friends commenting and supporting, it just really does push you to where you want to be. Really, it's been a bit of a crazy 12 months, but seeing how much we've grown and all the support's been amazing. So yeah, we can't thank everyone enough.
If you could go back to 10-year-old you, what advice would you give 10-year-old you?
Stop caring so much what people think.
Yeah, definitely. Do what makes you happy. Don't worry about what other people think about your music. It's your music at the end of the day.
Brilliant. I like that. You guys have had great advice from your uncle. What advice would you give to new, inspiring artists?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, like I say, other than the odd bit of karaoke after a few drinks, I've always had a guitar, and I've always loved to play music. But any songs that I have wrote, I've never ever shown anyone because I don't know. I always worried what other people thought of it or if it was any good or not. So it'd just be, don't be scared if it's not good. Someone won't like it, but just if you write something or you've got something to show people, the only way they're going to hear it is if you actually show them. So yeah, don't be worried and just do what makes you happy.
Manchester's or the Merseybeat, which is the best?
What did you swear then? The second word?
I knew that was coming. Okay, put it another way. What do you think has been most influential, the Merseybeat or the Manchester music scene? I know what I think.
Oh, the Manchester music scene is just the pinnacle.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I think I'm not just being biased here when I say it, but Manchester flies the flag for the UK in terms of music. I don't think the music scene in the UK would be half as big without some of the bands and some of the artists that have come from Manchester over the years. I just think flies the flag for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's some amazing acts coming out of Scotland just now, some big bands and some amazing writers and singers. Would you perform in Scotland, and where would you like to in Scotland if you could?
Definitely.
I've been to I can't remember what. I've been to Glasgow about 3 times now to watch. I watched Jerry Cinnamon.
At the Barrowlands.
It weren't the Barrowlands. It was. Is it the O2?
Aye, that's it. Aye.
So the first time I watched him was the Cortinas was headlining and Jerry Cinnamon supported, and it was absolutely nuts. I've not seen a support act like it in my life.
Yeah, he's a big Cinnamon's a big. He supports a particular football club in Glasgow, to Jerry Cinnamon, and they all get behind him.
Oh, nice.
So I think he uses that. Do you find that perhaps sometimes maybe the supporters of your club would get behind you?
Yeah, I mean, we've done quite a bit for United. I'm a season ticket holder. Funny story, I actually took Steve's season ticket over when he went travelling. So that was way before the band started. But we've been involved in one of the fanzines for United, and we've been quite vocal on social media and that. I mean, we wouldn't want to cause any disrest, and we only want United fans listening to us and stuff like that. But yeah, we are proud United fans, and
how do you see the current situation at Man United?
I won't mind some new owners, to be honest, if that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's time they sort of left and sold up and give it to someone that, you know, would prefer to have the money stay within the club. I mean, that's the ideal situation, but...
Yeah. In terms of the actual team itself and the journey we've been on, I mean, we've obviously had a bit of coming and going with managers recently, but I think since Solskjaer's come in, you know, we're definitely improving year on year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're in a good position to go into next season, and it could be a quite exciting one. So, hopefully, try and catch up our neighbours.
Yeah. Do you feel that when they discussed the European Super League, did you feel let down by your club slightly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they all, every single one of them was. It was just a bit of a weird 48 hours when that happened. I think everyone was quite disgusted with their own clubs and just football in general. It was a bit of a rubbish week, that.
Yeah, it's disappointing that it was money over fans that way, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it was the people at the clubs that didn't even really care about the clubs as well, and then you've got all the fans and the players and stuff. It just didn't really even get considered in it all. So, yeah, I'm just glad it got squashed quicker than it actually got brought up.
Yeah.
Fan power won in the end, I'd say. Yeah. And Gary Neville, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, I love Gary Neville anyway, but after some of his comments in recent weeks over the Super League and over United in particular, it just makes you love the man even more.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a Man United fan, but I've always been a fan of Scholes. I've always considered him. I mean, people talk about Gerrard and Lampard, but to me, one of the greatest midfielders I've ever blessed to see, and I've seen him several times at my stadium in Glasgow performing, and I honestly thought Paul Scholes is the greatest midfielder I've ever seen, and I put him up there with Pirlo and stuff like that. I think Paul Scholes is the greatest talent ever, and he's such a quiet guy.
Yeah, crazy how quiet he is, actually, considering he's part of the treble-winning team, and
And they say he's the joker in the pack. He was actually the one for pinging balls on people and stuff like that.
It's the quiet ones you've got to be worried about, innit?
That's what they say. Aye, I know about that. So, was it Steve? Did you say you travelled around a little bit?
Yeah, so I actually gave up my season ticket back in 2016, and I ended up backpacking around like Southeast Asia, working in Australia. The original plan was not to come back home, but things happen, and then you end up back at square one.
And do you think it shaped you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got myself into a decent job in the travel industry, which I love, and it's definitely helped me with coping with situations on the fly, which is always good. They always say leave your plans in sand, because if something comes up, you've got to think on your feet. And if you're ever in a stressful situation, I can just sort of be like, well, it's happening, so I've got to sort it out.
Well, look, guys, it's been absolutely amazing chatting to you guys. You're an amazing band. I love the music, and I'm really looking forward to the future for you guys, because I'll be following you with keen interest, and it's great that you come on tonight. I am going to play Joker. Would you like to introduce it?
Go on, yeah, can you do that?
Yeah, so this is our latest single, Joker, which we are very, very proud of, and obviously the feedback we've received for this has just been amazing. So yeah, if it's the first time hearing it, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on, guys. It's great to talk to you guys, and good luck with everything.
Thanks for having us, mate. You take care.
And yourself. I'm Dennis Dowling. This is the NMF podcast with the Haciendas, and this is The Joker.